Hello, Froggy here, and today I bring you the Runless Petras. First, you'll need to get a Queenswalk CP. That one is not that easy to get, so you have to beat Riven to get it, can't wish code it. And passing it is very inconsistent, but I found a way that works pretty well. So you launch it with the character that has it, and then you have the person with the checkpoint leave the fire team as soon as you go to the second stage of loading.
For generations,
if they leave here, it'll pass first try. Just do the normal starting the encounter and then wiping, and you should be good to go. I've tried this out a few times with a few different people, and it seems to be consistent, so let me know if it doesn't work for you. Now, before I get into the bug itself, there are a few things I should say about it. This bug will not last. It trivializes a rather difficult achievement, causing you to earn a Petra's run without doing any encounters, and in fact, without needing to move at all, after a fair bit of setup. It will surely be patched soon, as well it should be. However, creating this route was far from simple. It utilizes many bugs discovered over many years by many people, and was only recently made possible by the script engine rework and the way Last Wish was implemented with it, as well as the modified stasis breach. I'll give a list of the most relevant sources in the description. I found this project about as rewarding as a normal Petra's run, which I would strongly recommend doing. A Petra's run done in this way is nothing to brag about. Regardless, it makes an awesome trek back from the end of the raid to the beginning. Alright, go ahead and start spam. For this glitch, we need two people. One needs to be tied in with Code of the Missile. The other can be anything. We'll be using the menu spam strat to get past Riven. I'm getting text. The secondary player spams inventory and the directory. While they do this, the first player will get the text for the raid.
It seems like waiting about 5 seconds before starting the menu spam is the trick.
Ideally, the secondary will not get this text until the primary person has finished all of the dialogue. My text stopped. At this point, the secondary can stop the spam. They will transition into the dialogue, and the primary will load into the raid.
See if I can delay it a little bit longer for you.
Are you getting text?
Yeah, I just got text.
You'll have about the length of time of the text to get into position for the next part. Just touch down. Naturally, you can't just use speedy strats to get there, but this is going to be hard enough without having to add skating into the mix. Just make your way to where Riven will be, and wait around where the neck is.
I loaded in.
Once Riven spawns in, you can just go to the side and jump up on top. This is similar to one of the strats that you would use for instant Queenswalk. And in fact, we'll be doing just that. You don't want to have your secondary player leave. They should just stay here for the duration. I was not sure this run was actually going to work at this point. It was going to be exploration until it succeeded, so we ended up having to do extra work at the end. But you can save that by just not having your secondary leave. Just making my way through these barriers that block sight and nothing else. We don't have the benefit of a sword because we want to save our salvation script ammo. So we're going to have to jump on all these little things. We'll be breaching back into the end room, right where that white block is. You want to drop down right next to it. If you drop down where I am, you might get stuck, so make sure you hit this gap. Now just walk up and slam the artifact. I did not, because once again I was not expecting to get that far. Now we just need to climb back up. We'll be climbing up most of this with just regular jumps. But towards the top, our salvation script will come in handy again. Technically there are multiple ways we could have done this, but because my goal here was to do the raid backwards, I opted for this one. Plus it cuts out one more breach. So we just climb up on this pavilion here, and we go up to the top. These blights make handy jumping points. If you try jumping up from directly underneath, you will hit the field that slows you down for Queenswalk, so don't do that. Just climb up all the various limbs of these statues, and you can jump right to the next ring. You may need to alter to high lift to make this jump. I tried to avoid doing that fruitlessly for a bit, but you can save yourself the effort and just get it over with. High lift comes in handy for the next part anyways, but we can get back to catapult soon enough. Get onto the head of any of these smaller statues and you'll be in position for the next part. So we could probably just place a ice wall on the side of this and jump to it. But I like Code of the Missile here. We just want to get up to the next level of lift. From this point, we just use Salvation Script for what I assume its real purpose is. Climbing anywhere we want to go. I'd recommend going to a high lift for this just to get as much jump as you can. We'll save a bit on ammo, but that's not actually too much of an issue, which we'll see shortly. And now we just have some nice, easy climbing. We are ice climbers now. Just don't think too much about how one false move will send you back all the way to the bottom. And be glad that your only tool is not a hammer. And we have made it. Now you just need to make your way back through the regular vault part of Queenswalk. And we'll be going back into Hall of Two Souls. But to get there, we're going to have to breach this door. Instead of doing all of that, we could have just breached the door at the beginning. So here's an example of that. Just place down your stasis as before, and Code of the Missile. And that brings us back to this door. Unless you are particularly clever with your menu spam, you'll have to go through this door as well. But just same as the other one. Nice and easy. Don't be too sad if you don't make it on your first few tries. It takes some practice to get it right. And one more door. Just kidding, it's gone. You don't have to worry about that one. So there are many ways to get past this vault door. My preferred one is just firing an ice shard. With precise placement right around that line, you can actually just crouch walk through. You want it to be slightly below. If your placement isn't perfect, you might have to jump or wiggle a little bit to get through. Or you can use a stasis melee there. Or Code of the Missile again. And we've got a flag, giving us back all of our very useful salvations ammo. Now,
Maybe, I
I
don't
think
know.
I can.
the hatch.
I'm trying to remember if I had to do it.
I've never done new.
As you can probably guess by the audio, I was not able to easily reproduce this with a couple tries, but I will give you the basic theory.
Thundercrash should be unlocked.
Code of the Missile is a crouch that you can aim upwards.
Just tell me to move
So we tilt it up a little bit so that when we get moved backwards while crouched, we also
really?
move a little bit down.
You do.
So you'll want to adjust your ice to cover the area around you,
Did you do the same place?
and a little bit of the area above. And now, a nice relaxing stroll. Congratulations if you made it to this point, you have done the hardest part. Been a long time, but we finally for now have a way past that door. But now, for the run killer. The Morgeth Door has always been something of a problem. And the Ascendant Challenge before has always been an issue for the Petras run. If you're coming from this direction, it is possible that you will end up having a default spawn point within the Ascendant realm. So if you die, you may find yourself down there with no hope of escape.
I feel like I should clip that. I feel like I'm morally obligated to clip that.
So I'd like to use the standard 2 shots on the floor and 1 on the door for this. It may also help to put yourself at 30 FPS. You can see I took a bit of damage there, but, you know, made it through. With the magic of editing, you can get your super back right away. Otherwise, you'll probably have to wait it out. Over the ages, there have been many ways to cross this gap, but since some of those are off limit if we want to keep our ammo, I'm just going to use Code of the Missile. You can use Catapult Lift to pretend that you're sword flying, and you'll just slowly lose height. But you can use Missile to help gain that all back, plus a decent amount of distance. You can just flutter your jump a little bit to make it the rest of the way, and you're good to go. Now we just need to get back to Shuro Chi. And luckily, people have found a lovely breach back here. Once again, you can look in the description and I'll have links to where a lot of these things came from. It really is quite nice that after like all these years we're still finding new uses for these. And because we don't have a sword, we have to jump on all of these little platforms to make it across. We could use Missile, but we'll have to use it again, so might as well keep it handy. And welcome to the lovely Roof of Crystal. Don't mind how it changes under your feet. It probably isn't going to disappear. We're just going to make our way across to the Shuro Chi door. I have to go a little bit to the left of this dome and drop down onto an area just below. So you can see that right there. That is our drop point. And we're just going to make our way over to the door. You want to approach slowly and in the air to try to avoid dying. Sometimes, though, you may end up dead. And if you do, your default spawn will be on the other side of that door, so you'll have to take the long way round. But at this point, it's all stuff that you may have seen in one of my previous videos. We just need to make it back to the wish wall. I do miss having my sparrow here. Almost back to Kalli now. Can just take the little shortcut drop. But you don't want to miss saying goodbye to everyone's favorite disappearing rock. Final breach. So here you can see Capri doing the breach. Just to get an idea of what it looks like from third person. I like doing this one in the middle because I find the sides a bit unreliable because you can't quite get the top crystal to stick. It's a few more shots, but the consistency is probably worth it. Helps to aim slightly down. And we're through. At this point, there's nothing we could do to mess up, other than maybe triggering Kalli, but you can't exactly wipe that fight. However, it would pull your person and Riven forwards, and I don't envy anyone trying to make that route back without dying. Just have to climb back up to the wish wall. And there's a flag spot in case you wanted to already have had more ammo. If you do run out, you can actually have a third person join you, and if you're the fire team leader, they'll join on you. It might be a good idea to touch the load zone behind you. It's not strictly speaking necessary, but if the wish wall has been in a bad state for some reason or another, like an accidental Kalli start, you might find that it's necessary. And we're in the absolute home stretch now. If you have any falling off of cliffs to do, you might want to get that out of the way now, because it is about to be Petra's run time. I like to give the wall a little test first, just to make sure it is primed and ready to accept codes. Nothing quite like entering a full code just to have it fizzle. With the code entered, there's only one more thing to do. Tell your buddy back at Riven to finally approach. Once they do, you'll get joining allies in return. It's definitely much faster than trying to get back on your own. At this point, anyone else who wants to cash in on your strenuous exercise can join back. People are free to join and complete the Runless Petras without having to have done anything at all. But as soon as someone picks up the heart, you'll be doing the shortest Queenswalk of all time.
Return to us for the sake of plans to come.
As soon as the holder teleports, it should trigger the Petra's run.
We will meet you on the other side.
However, you will not be getting any loot. A small price to pay. It just seems fitting to end a Petra's run with everyone dying.
My queen commanded me to slay a beast. We could not do it alone. So I turned to the Guardians.
And they did absolutely nothing.
It doesn't give me the pickup prompt. Oh,
Give it a sec.
Riven of 1,000 voices.
Just wait.
Architect of this city. Return to us for the sake of plans to come.
You're recording right now.
Krusty Krab pizza is the pizza for you.
Petra's
and
run.
me.
It is done. We will meet you on the other side.
There you go. That's yeah. Simple as that. And now it doesn't show up in your raid report.